Born to German immigrant parents in Covington, Kentucky, Duveneck's artistic journey would bridge American and European traditions, leaving an indelible mark on both continents. Frank Duveneck has emerged as one of America's most accomplished painters and influential teachers during the late 19th century. In this presentation, we want to explore his personal contacts not only among his talented group of students, often referred to as the Duveneck boys, but his own wider revelations as he befriended the new brash younger artists developing in France, a journey that furthered him as an innovator and visionary himself. Now turning to the Munich years and technical innovation, Duveneck's formative study in Germany proved transformative for his artistic development. In 1869, at just 21 years of age, he departed for Munich to study at the prestigious Royal Academy of Fine Arts. Here, amidst the rich artistic atmosphere of Bavaria, Duveneck immersed himself in the bold, direct painting style that characterized the Munich school. Under the tutelage of Wilhelm von Diez, he developed his signature approach, characterized by vigorous brushwork, dramatic chiaroscuro, and a somber palette that rejected the more old-school conventions of the time. Particularly notable was Duveneck's innovative use of materials. He embraced the Munich technique, which involved adding coach varnish, a carriage varnish, to his oil paints, producing a fluid, lustrous surface quality distinctly different from the dry academic style prevalent in American art circles. This medium allowed for rapid execution with a loaded brush, creating the rich impastos and fluid brushwork that became hallmarks of his style. The varnish accelerated drying time and created a distinctive amber tonality that lent his canvases a warm, old master quality despite their contemporary subject matter. Frank Duveneck's relationship with Pascal Dagnan-Bouguereau represents an intriguing connection between the American Munich-trained painter and one of France's leading naturalist artists. Their documented interactions, while limited, provide insight into cross-currents between different schools of realism in the late 19th century. Duveneck likely first encountered Dagnan-Bouguereau's work at the Paris Salon of 1880, where Dagnan-Bouguereau exhibited An Accident, a work that garnered significant attention for its unflinching realism and technical precision. Letters from Duveneck to a Cincinnati colleague mention his admiration for this painting, noting its powerful truth and humanity, achieved through means different from our Munich approach. Their personal acquaintance appears to have been established in 1882, when both artists were present at a gathering hosted by the American art patron William Schaus in Paris. A contemporary account by Theodore Robinson mentions seeing Duveneck in earnest conversation with Dagnan-Bouguereau, the latter sketching on a napkin to illustrate some point of technique. Despite their different training, Dagnan-Bouguereau at the École des Beaux-Arts under Gérôme, Duveneck at the Royal Academy in Munich, they shared a commitment to realism and technical excellence. Their approaches diverged significantly, however, with Dagnan-Bouguereau's meticulous, highly finished surfaces contrasting with Duveneck's bolder, more direct handling. The two artists maintained a respectful professional awareness of each other's work through the 1880s. Frank Duveneck's approach to art was characterized by directness, honesty, and an unwavering commitment to visual truth. Though he left relatively few written statements compared to some of his contemporaries, his teaching philosophy and artistic principles have been preserved through the recollections of his students and associates. Paint it as you see it. This straightforward directive became Duveneck's most famous teaching maxim, emphasizing immediate response to visual stimuli rather than academic formula. Begin to paint at once. Correct as you go along. Duveneck advocated for immediate engagement with the canvas, eschewing elaborate preparatory work. Keep your values clear and your edges lost. This technical instruction reflected his belief in the primacy of tonal relationships over linear construction. The great men will get through anyhow. Their mind will overcome all obstacles. After all's said, Frank Duveneck is the greatest talent of the brush of this generation. These are the words which John Singer Sargent spoke at a dinner given in London in the early 90s, in a discussion of the merits of such eminent men as Carolus Duran and others. This judgment, deliberately spoken by a man whom artists and laymen alike have come to regard as the most technically brilliant of painters, would not now, any more than it did then, arouse contradiction in a company of artists. Yet to the general public it would come with a shock of surprise. This is in part because Duveneck's work is not well known to the general public. Another reason lies in the fact that the greatness of Duveneck's art is best understood by the true student of painting. His style, simple and direct, is without technical tricks for effect, without persuasive story subjects, without even so much self-consciousness as is implied in the word sentiment. So by comparing Duveneck's working methods from his formative years to his Parisian period and thereafter, we see a talent that was open and could find truth in two methods, both relying on nature as closely as possible. With the using of large brushes loaded with his characteristic varnish-enriched medium, he demonstrated how to establish the fundamental masses and values of a composition almost immediately. This approach, sometimes known as à la prima or wet-into-wet painting, required decisive handling and confident decision-making. Duveneck's method involved beginning with a toned canvas, often in warm sienna or umber hues, and working from dark to light. He would block in the major shadow areas with thin, transparent darks, gradually building toward the mid-tones and finally applying the thickest paint for the lightest passages. Duveneck's demonstrations were theatrical events, with students gathering to watch as he completed a portrait or figure study in a single session. This immediacy transmitted not just technique, but an artistic philosophy that valued direct observation and painterly intuition over formulaic construction. Duveneck returned to America, bringing with him the progressive European approaches he had absorbed. He established himself as a teacher in Cincinnati before returning to Munich in 1878, where he attracted a devoted group of American students who became known as the Duveneck Boys. The Duveneck Boys were drawn to their mentor's emphasis on direct observation, technical mastery, and painterly freedom. Together they formed a vibrant expatriate colony in Munich and later in Florence and Venice. The influence of Frank Duveneck was monumental to his tight, small, talented group of artists. His legacy remains important to those who followed him, and his work and philosophy still resonate today. Artists look at his energy and bravura with the brush with real appreciation for what he left us. Lastly, be sure to check the link below for our digital library of great painters. And thank you.